So this is what we heard from the Israeli military chief talking to forces on the Israeli-Lebanese border a short time ago. He said, your military boots will enter enemy territory. What are the expectations for this potential next stage of this battle?
Yeah, as far as the Israeli military is concerned, Linda, the main effort is going to probably be in the southern part of Lebanon. That's, of course, the most logical thing for them to do from a land incursion perspective. And I suspect that they're going to move forward to the boundary, the natural boundary of the Litani River. So that's about 18 or so miles into Lebanese territory. With that, what they're going to be able to do is basically take out a large area that is controlled, de facto controlled by Hezbollah forces. That means a lot of the launch sites, a lot of the other capabilities that the Hezbollah forces have would then fall into Israeli hands, assuming that the IDF is successful in this kind of an incursion. What has also happened, of course, is the air campaign. That air campaign conducted by the Israeli Air Force has basically pummeled that area of Lebanon. They've also hit targets in other areas like the Bekaa Valley and, of course, in Beirut. But the key thing here is to really lay the groundwork for a possible invasion or incursion into southern Lebanon. And that is what the IDF is clearly preparing for at this point.
So given the escalation we've already seen, this aerial bombardment, and now the potential of this ground invasion, what is the risk that this could expand to become an all-out war like the one in 2006?
Yeah, that's a very considerable risk. The one in 2006, of course, had a major impact on Lebanon, and it created situations that we're dealing with to this day. And I think what would happen in this particular case is that Hezbollah would, of course, fight as much as they could against any Israeli incursion. There would be a much more accelerated deployment of rockets and possibly missiles as well into Israeli territory. And instead of the symbolic attacks, as Ivan was mentioning in his report, we might see actual attacks against Israeli targets, assuming they could get through the Israeli missile defense system. Then the other part of this, of course, is the regional actors. In addition to Hezbollah, you would have militias that are also proxies of Iran, from Iraq, from Yemen, that could potentially also launch attacks against Israel in sympathy and in conjunction with what Hezbollah is doing. So this could very easily spread beyond Lebanon and Israel, and could potentially involve other actors and even Iran itself. And that, of course, would be something that the U.S. and the Western powers, other Western powers, is trying to avoid.
And I'm wondering how Hezbollah's military wing compares in strength to the Lebanese army, and whether or not Lebanon would deploy its own force here to push Israel out should there be a ground incursion.
I don't think the Lebanese forces would engage the Israelis, at least not in the way that Hezbollah would. The Lebanese forces are, frankly, not as powerful as Hezbollah. They do have some modern equipment. They have supplies in part from the U.S. and from other Western nations. But really the key armed force in Lebanon right now is Hezbollah. Hezbollah financed and supplied by Iran and other countries allied with Iran, such as Russia. And that makes a huge difference when it comes to the battlefield. Hezbollah is far more ready to fight a war with Israel than the Lebanese army is. And so I don't see the Lebanese army playing a great role in this at all.